like old ones, like from the 60s, to where you just put them on a guitar and never took them off.
And any beginning guitar player, and you'll remember this a long, long time ago. Remember, like, when you first had to do, like, an F chord?
Oh, my God.
And you had to hold that bar down.
On a JCPenney acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
You know,
so you could do every chord but the F chord here.
Right. You know, it's like I wanted to say the F chord, but I couldn't. And it's like, because those strings were so high off the fretboard, it was just killing me. And so now with this, I think it's so great because, you know, especially when you talk with, you know, children and women and some, you know, you have to build up calluses on your fingers to be able to play on a regular basis. With this, you learn songs, you're able to press them down and make a full chord straight out of the box.
And that's with one finger you're doing this with.
Right. And after you learn the chord, the way the system works, which the creator was explaining to me, was that then you just pull out this little piece, and then from then on, you have to make that chord.
Right.
And I like that because
it kind of weans you off of it.
It really does, because I think everybody should learn to play some kind of instrument, even if it's just for their own therapy at home to sit around and play.
And even if you just stuck with this, I think you're on to something. I love it that singers in the band or writers can not be so dependent on people, and they can use this as a tool to get their creative expression out.
I think exactly right, you know, because if they've got the lyrics in their head, they're writing poems, you know, they're writing these songs. It's like, you know, you have to say, well, I've got to wait till the guitar shows up. Actually, no, you don't. You know, if you have a cheap guitar sitting around or whatever, you know, or even a good guitar and go ahead and put this on and use it as a tool to learn and to write music, I think it's a win-win, David.
It is. And it's at chordbuddy.com, and it's not much money.
No, it's not. No, he makes them cost-effective, and I know he's also launching a whole line of guitars and tuners and capos and all this stuff, but to me, this is a cool innovation. A lot of people are going to have some fun and get some use out of this and get to make music, whereas before they couldn't.
We're going to have pictures on the website at musicbusinessradio.com. You've got some great videos of this and other gear on YouTube.
Correct, at Rockin' Review 17.
Eric, thank you very much. We're going to have you back here where you'll bring in another piece of gear, and we're going to have fun with it.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, David.
Hi, I'm Favored Nation's recording artist Johnny Highland, and you're listening to Music Business Radio.
You're listening to Music Business Radio. Now we continue with part 2 of our Summer NAMM coverage from the Music City Center. It's Dan Buckley on a special broadcast from Summer NAMM here in Music City at the Music City Center. We're sitting down with different vendors and folks who help put on Summer NAMM, and right now we're talking with Travis Perry. He has a company called Chord Buddy. How are you doing today, Travis?
Man, I am kicking like a three-legged chicken, Dan.
All right. So I hear you're a regular at Summer NAMM. Tell folks, what is it like to go to NAMM? I've been trying to describe it, but it's hard to put it in words.
Disney World for musicians. Heaven for musicians. Disney World and heaven combined for musicians. I mean, you know, even me as a player, I can't hardly stand to stay in my booth because there's so many wonderful products and technology being part of music. There's so much new stuff every year, you know, that's brand new and exciting.
So you have an interesting story. Your product is Chord Buddy.
Yep.
And you had the opportunity to get on the TV show Shark Tank.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, my product and what it is, it's a teaching system that it's a device that you put on your guitar. It plays 4 chords, G, C, D, and E minor. With those 4 chords, you can play literally tens of thousands of songs. And I invented it because as a music teacher, half my students would quit within 60 days. I said, there's got to be a better way of learning. My own daughter quit. I'd had this idea some 30 years ago, never did anything with it. In 2007, the mortgage tanked, and I was in real estate. And I went back to teaching guitar for a living, and one thing that had not changed in 30 years was the dropout rate of people learning guitar. So I made a prototype, started teaching with it. I saw that this is something we need, so I went on the market with it, applied to Shark Tank in 2009, and they called me 2 years later, went on the show in February of 12, and that's the 14 minutes and 32 seconds that changed my business life.
I bet.
It's amazing. 10 million people seeing a product that 9 out of 10 people wished they could play. We were not prepared for it. We thought we were. You know, we knew we would have some sales, but we sold 12,000 Chord Buddies in 24 hours.
And how many did you have already made?
7. I mean, not 7,000, not just 7. So,
oh, okay.
So we had to start building, and I spent the last probably 3 weeks calling customers, telling them they're going to be late getting. I mean, I called thousands of people by phone myself, to say, hey, we're going to be late getting your cord buddy because we oversold. That's a good problem to have.
It is a great problem to have. So if someone's interested in Cord Buddy, what's the best way to find out about it and get one?
Well, they're in guitar centers. They're also, our website is chordbuddy.com, chordbuddy.com. They can purchase them from there. We're in a lot of mom and pop music stores, so they could try there first. We always want to support our dealer market. If they don't have it, suggest that they carry it, and they'll be glad they did, I'll guarantee it.
It's Dan Buckley on location for Music Business Radio. We are doing coverage here at Summer NAMM in Nashville, Tennessee at the Music City Center. And right now we're going to sit down with Dave Leary with Jam Hub. How's it going, Dave?
It's going very well, Dan. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome. Just a really fun place to get to hang out here and go inside and see all the booths. It's really hard to describe how large this is to people. And Summer NAMM is a third of the size as the NAMM that they do out on the West Coast.
It's a little baby NAMM. It's much nicer. We actually really prefer Summer NAMM on a personal level just because it's a little more laid back. There's a little bit more of a chance to actually have a conversation with people and talk to customers and find out what their needs are and how to respond to them. So we love Summer NAMM.
Well, tell us about Jam Hub and what do you guys do?
So Jam Hub is a company that's dedicated to streamlining the process of collaboration for musicians. And we do that with a number of different products. We started out in 2008 with rehearsal technologies that allow up to 7 musicians to plug in their instruments and their microphones and take completely unique monitor mixes into headphones, wedges, or in-ears. So you can drop the decibel level down of your instruments so that you can practice in apartments and condos, take them on stage to drive in-ears, and never have to worry about dealing with the sound guy. And that's how we got started. Where we've evolved into is into recording technology. What we're here with is we've just started shipping our brand new Tracker MT16 product. The Tracker MT16 is a portable 16-channel multi-track recorder. It allows you to plug into any mixer or Jam Hub studio and capture all of the energy of your live performances in such a way that you can dump them into any DAW and do post-production. So you get a really high-quality product in the back end that you can disseminate to all of your fans.
That sounds awesome.
It is. It's a really fun way to play. I got to say, purely as a musician and not as the guy who's paid to sit here, it's a little addictive. I don't think I can go back to single tracking. The freedom for me to go into a rehearsal situation with my band on a weekly basis, press record, and then afterwards say, hey, we played that song really well. Let me spend a half an hour dumping those files into a DAW, doing a little bit of mixing, toss a little reverb on the vocals, and suddenly I have a product that is absolutely worthy of turning around to my fans. So it's a really fun, really fast, really streamlined way to gather content.
You've got one here in front of us, and it's small.
I carried it here in the back of my pocket.
In the back of your pocket, literally. And what about the files? Can it record like a whole hour's worth? Or?
Absolutely. So it comes with a 16-gig SD card. It also will strap into any USB drive. So I've got a terabyte drive sitting at our booth right now where there's a metal band over there right as we speak recording a multitrack file. So you've got, if you can fill a terabyte drive with music, you are doing something right, my friend. But I ain't done it yet. So you never really have to worry about taking up too much space. It records MP3 or WAV in 44.1, 48, or 96 KHZ, all 24-bit. It's literally 3 touches of a button to fire off recording. It's designed to plug directly into the insert jacks on an analog mixer, so it's very plug-and-play, right? If the mixer's not clipping, the tracker's not clipping. So you're never worrying about interfering with the sound guy's signal path. You just go up, have a nice conversation, plug it in, press record, play your best, have a good time. If you're dealing with a digital mixer with an assignable bank of XLR outs, we make an accessory that converts over to that so that it's very easy to just go into any live situation, play your heart out, and get a really high-quality product on the other end. For bands nowadays who are using things like GoPros and cameras and recording all of their shows, but they're putting the audio onto those video files from a cell phone taped to the back wall, this is a huge step forward, and all at an extremely affordable price point. This thing streets for just $3.99.
That is really a good deal. And you're not having to have a computer with a device to record it. It's going to record it right to the device.
That's exactly right. The device itself its core mission is the heavy work of analog to digital. It's entirely designed to do that extremely well and do that one thing extremely well. So what you get with this device is just this beautiful digital file of everything that you just performed.
We're talking with Dave Leary from Jam Hub. Your company is based in Massachusetts.
Yep.
Can you tell us about what it's like working for them?
Sure. Jam Hub is we're a tight little team. We like to think of ourselves as scrappy, but maybe that's delusional. We're a 7-person team based across 3 continents. We have 4 primary hardware products, a number of accessories, and we're currently working on some software solutions as well to really expand out. Again, we're entirely composed of musicians and for musicians. We believe strongly that collaboration is one of the most wonderful things that a human being can engage in. The act of you and I communicating musically is a beautiful thing, and all of our products are around gathering content that really push that message forward.
That's awesome. If folks want to buy it, are they in stores? Do they need to go to your website?
Absolutely. You can go to jamhub.com at any time, join the conversation on Facebook. We're also sold through all of your favorite online retailers, so you can check it out anywhere and pick it up. It's a really, really fun way to record.
All right. Well, Dave, thanks for taking the time to chat with us here.
It's my pleasure, Dan. Thank you for having me.
It's Dan Buckley on location for Music Business Radio at Summer NAMM here at the Music City Center. And right now, we're sitting down with Heather Campbell. She's Vice President with Ear Racers. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks, Dan.
All right. So tell us about your product. What is Ear Racers?
Well, erasers are a hi-fi musician's earplug. They're used for artists, for music enthusiasts, anyone that's kind of around loud music. And we started off as a company, Persona Medical, that builds hearing aids. We're a family-owned business of 48 years, and we've done custom plugs for about 20. So we wanted to do something where you didn't need an ear impression, so we changed to an instant fit earplug.
Wow, and can you tell us how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. The impression material needed to do a custom mold is costly, and having mold made is very costly, and a lot of people can't afford that anymore. So we changed it to a medical-grade silicone instant fit. So we have 3 different sizes, which about 95% of the population takes a small or medium, so that's really good. The other thing we did was not only change it to an instant fit, which makes it more convenient and affordable to people, but we actually took the filter that usually sits on the outside of your ear canal, and we moved it to the tip. So that took away any muffling sound. So now it's nice and clear. But the best thing that we did was we actually changed the type of filter we used. Filters that are on the market currently are flat attenuators, so they can drop 15, 20, even 25 decibels, but they will do so across all your frequencies. And musicians don't like that because they can lose their lows and their highs. So what we've done is focused on the range where your ear resonates the most, like 3,150 hertz. We drop at 19 decibels. But under 1,000, we only drop minimal, and over 8,000, we only drop about 11, which creates the world's first flat frequency response and not a flat attenuator. Very different approach.
That's awesome. I am a big fan of wearing earplugs. I have on my keychain a canister to keep earplugs with me because you only get one set of ears, and
absolutely,
if you damage them, they're done.
Absolutely, we applaud you. We're seeing hearing loss in younger and younger people, noise-induced hearing loss, and it's so preventable. A lot of people don't wear them because they don't like the look, the feel, or the sound of an earplug, or maybe they don't like all 3. So we really made an attempt to address all the issues why people don't wear hearing protection, and we think we've addressed all of them. The look is very discreet. They sit nice and comfortable in your ear, and they're virtually invisible, so that works for most people. They really don't want them to be seen. The clear sounding takes away any muffling sound. And then the flat frequency is a huge, huge new innovative approach. So we've been really well received.
I love the idea of them being hard to see because I remember being at a concert and then talking to someone later and they're like, oh, yeah, you were the guy with the earplugs. And I was like, wow, that's that noticeable?
Right. And, women don't want to wear them, too. They get all dressed up, maybe don't want to put something in their ear. But it's really important that people think about the fact that they are artists and they want to share their music. So they've invested all of this time and money and dedication to learning their craft and being passionate about it, but only to lose their hearing down the road. So it's sad that it is preventable, and we think we've come up with something that will really address all their needs. And we're a family-based business, so once you're part of the family, we'll definitely work with you and we'll get you into something that, fits and feels really great.
And you said you do hearing aids, so if they aren't a customer now, they will be later.
Well, here's the crazy thing, is we're actually trying to put ourselves out of business on the hearing aid side. So what company develops a new product to put themselves out of business?